Tier 53 Faction War. This is Avensa Stronghold and Space Marines versus Chaos. For the blue Space Marine team, we've got Crog playing a Techmarine, starts off range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair, wade into melee combat too. This is Ultramarines over here. Alongside Rostam 313 as an Apothecary support commander that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a target heal and a passive health regeneration aura, some Blood Angels Death Company on show. Maybe we'll see them cooler submarines too. And rounding off this blue Space Marine team is Bashful Pwny as a force commander, very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. Red Chaos, Captain Pronin, the Rostam warrior, is a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed on powerful offense and disruption, fights mainly in melee combat. Alongside, SuperKoMa is a Plague Champion, starts off range combat with a damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons, some decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair, but is very slow. The Death Guard elite scheme over here. And rounding off the teams is firatwithin as a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander, lots of game manipulation and control abilities, begins in melee combat. And this is the Thousand Suns elite scheme. He's up against that force commander on the east side. Heretics barely getting away. First engagement is Chaos Lord versus Techmarine over on the west, and the Plague Champion and Apothecary in the middle, but expect a lot of crossover. Expect an aggressive start from the Chaos players. They need to be aggressive with a heavy tier 2 to stop the Space Marines settling in. These Heretics do not want to be in melee too long. There we go. Can be pretty difficult for the flank players to defend their power, which is one of the reasons why many players don't like this map. Another reason being it's relatively narrow, not easy to maneuver. But that was my intention. I like maps with power that isn't safe. CSM decapping mid. Plague Champion turns to engage some scouts who do have their shotguns, looking to shut down those Heretics early. Look at these guys forcing melee combat on the Plague Champion. That's how bad he's in melee. Even scouts will have a go. Kraken bolts for the Tactical Marines. That ability is now active. You see the yellow circle there gives them more damage to heavy armor, even if they're in melee. It's now worn off, but they've done some good damage for those CSM. Here comes Crog to help out. He also has some shotguns, so both of these players looking to shut down those early Heretic rushes, which can be devastating to your Tactical Marines, especially if they have aspiring champions. Plague Champion there with his Plague Sword, also known as the Sword of Undeath. Creates zombies when he's killed something, and the 50 DPS power melee ignores melee resistance, which is a big deal. That's a dead Techmarine if he's not careful. Yep, down he goes, just took his eyes off him for a few seconds, and the piercing DPS that Eternal War CSM can throw out in tier 1 is not to be laughed at. They're shooting down those sniper scouts. Here's the Chaos Lord. He's not going to be able to do much with that much health though, flanking around. Meanwhile, east side, what's going on? Some Tzeentch worship. Looks like the force commander's backing off here, but he's going for Assault Marines, and that will allow him to push in against the double CSM. Doing bolts, tickling those Tactical Marines. Big firefight in the middle. Here comes that Plague Champion. Really, really bad news for all of this power armor. Oh, that was a special attack. That might have killed a model if he hit there. Heavy bolted Devastators on the field for Rostam. We've also got some Devastators on the way for Krog. He does have those double scouts and snipers, of course, doing big damage to heroes these days. 1-to-1 cap, not much in it in terms of VPs early on. That Techmarine still down. It might be tough to revive him there. So they pushed him off the middle, and I think they've got to keep the pressure up on the natural on this west side. We've got some Heretics capping. They have their aspiring champion, who's a Chaos Space Marine with bolt pistol and chainsword, helps them out in melee, toughens them up, giving them a health boost, and makes their Doom Blast do more damage because of that. Doom Blast these days does a percentage of the Heretics' health as damage or something. Here's these Assault Marines allowing Bashful to push through the east side. Might get a full bash here if he gets a flamer up. No sign of it. They'll get a few generators at least. Wants to make sure everything retreats so they can't dip themselves back into the engagement quickly. And he takes down one generator and is going to decap there. The submarine's going to help bash west side. Lots of retreating. We've got a Chaos Lord decapping this contested power. Heretics with grenade launchers will help deal with those Devastators, and we are going to see a revive in the middle. Of course, the Apothecary can revive with his ranged heal, although he won't get XP for it if he does that. He will get XP for this though. Up to level 2. No war gear there. No war gear on the Techmarine either. I'm guessing the Force Commander does. Power Sword, Artificer and Iron Halo all up. Might see him transition in tier 2 to one of his other weapons. But the Power Sword is pretty tasty. 50 DPS power melee with an improved battle cry. Not bad. Oh, Plague Champion is down. His sword doesn't ignore melee resistance though like the Plague Champions does. Might want his Mucus Discharge though to be a bit more survivable. Look at this. Because of SuperKoMa's assistance, firatwithin can now push right through to the power, and these powers are a lot more difficult to hit in these corners here. Middle is blue. There's a turret up. Everyone's favourite tarantula turret from the Techmarine there. Supported by some Devastators too. What are these Space Marines up to? Chaos Space Marines, I should say. They're getting some melee with Devastators, and they got in there, but they're taking shots from snipers and shotguns and all sorts of things. There's the Kraken rounds ability for the Tactical Marines. Brave CSM, but they are forced off. Got some Grenade Launcher Heretics also for Captain Pwny. I think both players realising it's going to be tough to get your Heretics into combat in a tight map with Devastators and Shotgun Scouts around. And of course the Techmarine can get his Bionics if it comes to that. So they're going to rely on Grenade Launchers, which can do some work for you. Look at that, did some good damage to those Tactical Marines all bunched up there. 2-2 on cap for Space Marines, looking relatively solid early on, going into tier 2. In fact, everyone is going or in tier 2, apart from Captain Pwny and Bashful Pwny is getting some relatively late Raptors onto the field. Here we are. Jump troops with 30 DPS melee. Can suppress when they land, which is pretty handy. Got double CSM and Raptors now. It's a pretty solid tier 1. But is he going to get caught out by an early vehicle here? CSM getting a decap and not losing a model. Nicely done by Captain Pwny. What's middle? Double CSM. Heretics. Can't get close to that. Turret. Chaos can deal with turrets very well in tier 2, of course, with either an early Blood Crusher or just going for a few Plague Marines between them. Plague Marines are awesome at shooting down turrets. They have a missile launcher and they do not have a lower weapon cooldown from suppression. And of course, if they get into trouble, they can retreat. So pretty much the perfect combination of stuff to destroy a turret. They won't do it super quickly with their missile launcher, but if you have a couple of them, it'll go down relatively soon. Sorcerer gets away, as does that Force Commander. Do you have anything else, Mr. Plague Champion? We've lost the indicator for him, unfortunately. The age-old replay bug. Sometimes when a hero dies, the indicator disappears permanently. Heretics are going to go down here. Yes, they do. Scouts get away, I think. Yes, they do. We see some zombie Tactical Marines created by that Sword of Undeath, and here's a Whirlwind. That's going to be a massive pain in the ass on a map as tight as this. Crog with some late Tactical Marines here. Probably got them out of that drop pod that you see. The Tactical Marine drop pod no longer instantly revives everything. You can reinforce, you can reinforce off it after the fact, but it won't give you a bunch of free models, which I think is fair. Noise Marines on the way for SuperKoMa. I think he complained of lag there. Does have some Plague Marines up. firatwithin with their Chaos Dreadnought. I want to see that Death Guard Dreadnought. Hopefully we'll see one from SuperKoMa. These Raptors getting awfully low. Very low. If those guys force melee on retreat, it might finish him off. Couldn't quite do it in time. He would have got them, I think. These CSM need to run away. So Captain Pwny perhaps a little bit lucky to get away with his Raptors there. Blood Angel Devastators doing their thing with those distinctive blue helmets. Assault Marines jumping in. Chaos Lord. I thought he was going down there. It was a bit of a weird animation. He's got his Combi Flamer, Harness of Rage and Dark Halo. Looks like we've also lost the indicator for him. Jumping back are the Assault Marines there. They have their Sergeant, so Merciless Strike can be doing some very nasty things to Heretics. Do they all have Grenade Launchers though? No. firatwithin's still in their melee state. He's bashing gens with a Markov Tzeentch Chaos Dreadnought. Can he go after the Whirlwind here? It's within striking distance if he just turns. Moving up a little bit, but that is... yeah, he's coming for it, I think. He's going to get it in just a few volleys and rear armor. There's a las cannon, though, that needs to be tied up by the Heretics. Whirlwind doing its thing. It won't disrupt the Dreadnought, of course. Dreadnought should be moving up and trying to fire on this Whirlwind. He's going to get caught, though, in a nice flank from Bashful Pwny. Heretics do get away. The Dreadnought, I don't think, is going to make it out of there. It's taken las cannon hits and has been multi-melted, so it can't move. Oh, he got teleported out. He saved it. Most likely saved it. Yes. Here we see SuperKoMa supporting now with some Blastmaster Noise Marines. Got a Dreadnought of his own in its default state with its auto cannon. Looking pretty cool, this Death Guard Dreadnought. Oh, going after those Assault Marines with his sword. Look at that. Zombie Assault Marine. Can he jump him somewhere? Jump on a las cannon maybe. Nope. He might finish him off if he's not careful there. Bashful Pwny versus the Plague Champion had to run away in the end. And the Assault Marines lived. Here comes the Force Commander getting well into the lines. Tying up this Marco Zinch Dreadnought. He's not going to do a whole lot with his power melee. Is he switching to the Power Fist? Maybe. But I can't see. No, he wasn't. Las Cannon doing a good job keeping those Dreadnoughts at bay. But it's not going to keep Mark of Khorne CSM at bay. Those guys looking pretty scary with Eternal War and their aspiring champions. Some Stone Guard veterans here for Rostam, using their Kraken rounds, doing extra damage to heavy armor. And they're supported by a Librarian, which is pretty handy. He now starts the game with Veil of Time, right? Comes out straight away with that upgrade. And his upgrades are less, I believe, to purchase. He's got his 4-staff now. West side, meanwhile, a Dreadnought for Krog. I'm loving all these Dreadnoughts stomping around. Has the Assault Cannon, his bashing power. Melter Gun Techmarine. Raptors with their aspiring champion chasing down some Marines, but they do get away. Does he have orbs? Does not have orbs. He's getting his Artificer. Really? Get your Signum, surely. Decent barrage. Not wanting to engage here, Captain Pwny, but they're going to take the middle. And they haven't actually bashed the power over here. It's still up. Kicking off though in the middle. Scouts, can they utilize their shotguns effectively as we go into late game here? Becomes more and more difficult when there's tons of stuff on the field to think of your scouts. Raptors going after the Whirlwind with their aspiring champion. He does have a Melter Pistol and a Power Fist, and that's a dead Whirlwind, I think. Well done. Spotted it, went after it and took it down. Wow, it's a lot of stuff fighting these Assault Marines. They do get away though. That was a sink kill, just flinging that Assault Marine to the side there. Force Commander's being very brave. Are they going to get him? Are they going to get him? Lots of stuff leveling up. Level 2 Heretics. We have level 2 CSM2. What about the Dreadnought? Still level 1. Needs a lot of repairs. Getting some repairs now. Tier 3 for firatwithin, the first player to go. Plasma Cannon on the way for Rostam. Bashful Pwny losing those Assault Marines is now looking relatively thin, but he's got a Dreadnought on the way. Yet another Dreadnought hitting the field, loving it. Raptors, oh no, did he die? Very nearly. 24 hit points, but looks like they're going to be okay. Plasma Gun Tactical Marines, that's like a 30 DPS plasma weapon. Crazy. There's that force field thing. Force barrier, I think it's called. That's going to be pretty effective in the middle here. Uh-oh. Death Guard Dreadnought goes down. Las Cannon took it out. And the Melter Gun Techmarine, of course. Getting a bit too close to that Techmarine, who's still camped outside the power. He has bashed the gens. Can now go shoot down that node as well. Here's that Chaos Lord. No sign of Armor of the Inferno. He's gone Harness of Rage to try and shut down the enemy heroes. Would be useful against that Librarian as well. Just float him into the air a bit. That was buffed in 2.6, I think. Harness of Rage. I think. Stone Guard veterans doing their capping stuff. Big lump of melee units for firatwithin is pretty fun to watch. But look at this. Thunderhammer Force Commander is going to wreck that little lump. Needs to try and bait him out, doom blast him, and just keep him controlled if he can. I think he'd do well to get some Devastators up, Havocs I should say himself, firatwithin. He's getting a Mark of Khorne Dreadnought alongside his Mark of Tzeentch. And here is Bashful Pwny's Dreadnoughts. So many Dreadnoughts. 374, 183. A sizable VP lead for the Space Marine team as we start to head into Tier 3 for the players. firatwithin cancelled his Tier 3 to get that Dreadnought. SuperKoMa has gone. Rostam now goes. That Space Marine Dreadnought went down. Did not last long, did it? Raptors were in there with their Power Fist. Here comes that Mark of Khorne Dreadnought. Action starting to transition back to the middle. Might see a big 3v3 fight here. Raptors with a very brave jump, but they need to retreat now. Chaos Lord is in there tying up the Apothecary, who does have his customized Stormbolt to also arm the Apothecary, which is why he's sprinting around over there. And improved medical equipment. Mark of Khorne CSM, one of them goes down. The other one needs to be very careful here. Just trying to keep that Dreadnought tied up so it can't fire that devastating assault cannon. Here comes the Mark of Khorne Dreadnought though. And there's Blood Rage. Increasing its damage resistance and speed. But you lose control of your Dreadnought so it can turn on your own stuff. Doing big chunks of damage though off that Space Marine Dreadnought, which won't have melee resistance with its assault cannon. 329, 183. Frantic stuff. You've got to keep your eyes on the flanks. So look at these scouts. The right idea from Bashful Pwny. You've got to keep pressure on the natural VPs. Raptors would be good for jumping over there and grabbing it, I think. Heretics here are going to go down in retreat. The Space Marine Dreadnought did survive. No sign of a beacon here from Krog, which would be good behind this shot blocker there. That's a shot blocker which can't be destroyed. At least I've never seen these things be destroyed. Could also put a Nurgle Shrine here maybe. That Dreadnought needs a lot of repairs. Look at this now. Chaos Lord with the Lightning Claws. Not messing about anymore. 100 DPS power melee, which would be increased by his leveling. I think at level 10 heroes do 33% more or something. Maybe it's 30% more melee damage, which is a sizable amount if you can get them up there. Bloodletters here for firatwithin, capping back their natural VP. It's a 2-1 now for Chaos, but how long can they hold on to the center? The Space Marines are all Tier 3. We know what Space Marines can do in Tier 3. Terminators and Land Raiders is what they do. Chaos Lord getting smacked around by range fire and goes down. Down he goes. What do you have now, Mr. Plague Champion? Still with just the sword. Surely we'll see him get Armor of Pestilence and his fist and stuff. firatwithin, trying to move in and do some damage. Bloodletter's getting in there. Little clump of Devastator las cannons here. But the damage that the Bloodletters take though, and they did not have the energy to warp shift there at level 1. Bloodletters are one of those units, the case with most jump units, that benefit a hell of a lot in their utility from leveling up, because they get more energy to jump around and do things. Force Commander getting in. Doesn't have the teleporter, so I've no idea how he got that close. But he's going to go down for his trouble, I think. Yep. Mark of Khorne Dreadnought getting a nice sink kill, tossing him aside, and tossed him back, making him harder to revive. Space Marines get the decap. Plague Champion's in there. He's actually done really well, considering he just has a sword and nothing else to increase his durability. The sword does give you more hit points. How much more is it? Health by 70. There we go. 263, 183. Double cap for the Chaos team. Just as I said, how well the Plague Champion is doing. He goes down. Something being called in over here. It's a drop pod with a Venerable. Yes, Venerable Dreadnought called in by Krog. How long is it going to last though? It's got double Mark of Khorne Dreadnoughts on it. We have some Chaos Terminators in play from SuperKoMa. Looking pretty cool with that Death Guard scheme. Look at that. Awesome stuff. I don't think the Venerable is going to get away. There's triple Dreadnoughts on you. One of them with a ranged weapon. He should be letting the others get into melee. There we go. But he'll chase it down with this autocannon. I don't think he's going to get away. Space Marine Dreadnought coming pretty far up. That was a pretty frantic engagement. And it ends up with a no cap on the middle. That's a dead venerable, I think. They can't save it. Raptors jump in just to make sure it goes down. There's stoicism, and here's some loyalist terminators with power fists and storm bolters. You'd think they'd get the cyclone missile launcher on this map, but you never know. What about the flanks here? Blue team retaking a natural. We have a force commander, I guess. Yep, going to this eastern natural of the red team. Chaos terminators for SuperKoMa, going for the lightning claws. They've got a pretty badass model. Very good job by, I think it was Sterling who did this Death Guard Elite scheme way back when. Chaos Dreadnought needs to get some repairs. There we go. Oh, by the way, 2.7 is live. This is not a 2.7 match. I'll be transitioning over to that update once I get a bunch more replays for it. Go over to dawnofwar.info, head into the forums, and you can find links and notes and stuff for 2.7. It's not up on the main site yet, on the front page. In fact, that's probably something I'll have to do, because I don't think anyone else has access to that stuff these days, so I'll have to get on that. Chaos Terminator is leading the charge to the west side for a decap. No, coming back to the middle. Ouch, big plasma cannon hit on the Raptors. Hit all 4 models, I think, and took one out. Blastmasters there, though, to do the same thing for those Stone Guard veterans. There's some Markov Zinch CSM for SuperKoMa. Do we have any other Markov Zinch? No, we have Markov Korn. It's ballsy. It's ballsy to go for melee on this map. Lightning Claw Terminator is getting in there. They must have their teleport available. They would not be doing this. You'd expect maybe to see Tome of Subjugation from the Sorcerer 2 to deal with those, help deal with those enemy Terminators. And other stuff too. Lots of death. Chaos Terminators teleporting back and getting stuck in. See that red debuff on kill that they do. Pretty nasty stuff. Ouch. A dead Chaos Dreadnought. He did pretty well though. Lascannon Predator dealing with it pretty easily. 188, 137 is very close on VPs. And we see that these scouts, yep, getting a decap. Chaos need to do a bit more of that on this west side, I feel like. Some juicy generators they could hit as well. Just send the Plague Marines over there to decap. SuperKoMa getting some late game havocs. Captain Pwny with just 3 units around these days is getting some havocs as well. Lots of autocannons and lascannons, why not? These Space Marines, these Terminators did get the Cyclone Missile Launcher for Rostam. Blastmaster getting shots in, lots of Marco Zinch Inferno Bolts on that single model there, but there's Veil of Time to help him out. Apothecary is also there to get a heal if he needs to. Or he's just going to do, yeah, just going to do his advanced healing thing. Chaos Space Marine is doing a good job keeping the pressure up. That's not easy to do. To keep your concentration for this amount of fighting is... feels like it's been a constant fight in the middle for the last 15 minutes or so. This tends to lead to losses. Ouch, wow. Plague Marine's taken out. That's Signum marked target from the Techmarine helping out there. When you get these big long firefights, your concentration can lapse and you can have one really bad engagement that costs you the game. Lascannon Predator getting shots on this Chaos Dreadnought, which might go down here. One more shot will do it. There he goes. I guess he... where's the Sorcerer? He could have teleported it out, but he would have teleported it into a bunch more trouble. He probably would have still went down. This Dreadnought is still going. It's level 3 with Dark Age of Technology in Tier 3. Another Predator on the way. Predators all round. No sign of Land Raiders and not many Terminators either. Bloodletter's coming in to chop up that Force Commander with the Power Melee Hellblades. 169, 131. Single cap for the Space Marines. Bashful Pwny doing a really good job decapping and harassing this eastern side, but the Force Commander's going to go down. Bloodletters, well done to you. You leveled up? Level 2. Oh, missed a Nurgly Nuke in the middle there. Not sure what it did, but There's nothing around, so at least it scared everything off. If nothing else, this comes a turret. Wonder if you'll get a missile turret. Can upgrade them for free, of course, these days. And the Plague Champion's las cannon turret is awesome, so you might want to get one of those going. SuperKoMa. Mark of Khorne Dreadnought getting stuck in. Not the most effective way to fight a las cannon tank with a melee Dreadnought. Might not last long if he doesn't get teleported away from it. That's a nice special attack. But it's going to get finished off. Yeah, he does. So all the Chaos Dreadnoughts are down now. We just have this Loyalist or Assault Cannon Dreadnought still kicking some ass. Terminators do live. Lost a model there. Might be a dead Havoc squad. No, they do get away. Here comes a Librarian providing some vision. Lots of setup teams here. Las Cannon, we have an Autocannon and a Blastmaster, and as an Autocannon just went off the field as well, which will be back. Oh, look at this. Raptors getting a decap. Nicely done. Now a double cap here for Chaos. They have the middle, they have their natural, but I think firatwithin is going to need to be on constant visual on this east side. Otherwise, the Force Command is going to be constantly here taking your VP. (121 to 100 on the VP. Still that double cap for Chaos. Can they keep this up? They've played it well, I think. Recovering with these late game Havocs, I think, is a really good way to go. firatwithin is still in tier 2, in fact, and nothing wrong with that. You can fight pretty well as a Chaos tier 2 in a 3v3. There's that Force Barrier knocking stuff flying. Good tool to use against a mass of setup teams. But these autocannons are savage with the las cannon snares as well. Look at that. Are we going to see the end of this Dreadnought here? We do see the end of it. 54 red. That's pretty good. Whoa. And just took out Tactical Marines with a plasma gun too. Good little passage of play there for Chaos. Can they get a cap? I don't think it's going to be Heretics. SuperKoMa, what are you up to? He's down. Still has his sword. I think if he gets back up, he'll maybe go for that fist. Oh, Bashful Pwny though. Oh god. He's got Assault Terminators here. Mark of Khorne CSM happy to get in. They've got a las cannon also and autocannon. Las cannon is very good at shooting down Terminators, but not for long. In 2.7, Terminators will no longer be large units, so anti-vehicle weapons won't be able to hit them reliably. Not a change I'm super a fan of, thematically speaking, but balance always has to trump everything else, I guess. Here comes some Lightning Claw Chaos Terminators, and these Assault Terminators also went for Lightning Claws. They did not have their teleport here. Getting chased down. Might go down. This is going to be a very quick loss of Terminators if they can't get out. Don't they have a Librarian? Rostam has a Librarian. Can he get them out of there? That is the question. Down to a single model. Raptors jumping forward to make sure they get some hits here, but they don't have their Aspirant Champion anymore, so don't have a Power Fist. There's Veil of Time, but it does not save them. Now you need to get these Chaos Terminators out of trouble, SuperKoMa. We have enough red for nukes for firatwithin, and I think SuperKoMa again. Yeah, wow, how much red has he got? He's already used the nuke, and he's got Terminators. Predator goes down. That might be a massive mistake here. He used his teleport to engage Loyalist Terminators. He's going to lose them. Big mistake by SuperKoMa. There's the marked target. They're not going to get out of there. Unless he can warp them out, firatwithin. Nope. Big mistake by SuperKoMa. Why did he do that? There's a Tarantula turret in the middle still. There's Dark Flames, which I think will one-shot a turret. Yeah, look at that damage. Holy crap. Wow. Not only does it one-shot it, it does it in like 4 seconds. Here's an orbital. And the range on orbital these days is pretty good. You can completely cover this central point. Space Marines are going to use that to cap, I would think. It's the Apothecary trying to do so. What level is this guy now? Level 8. Crog is down to 2 units. SuperKoMa down to just CSM. There's a Nurgle nuke. Makes the Apothecary think twice about capping. They still have no beacon or land raider in the middle. So no cap in the mid. And look at this. Some CSM with Markov Zinch getting a decap. SuperKoMa level 4, these guys. It's got a Predator on the way now. Down goes that Techmarine. 102 to 16 Chaos players down to 16 VPs that need to defend here. This is desperate stuff. Not sure if those CSM are going to be able to finish that cap on that west side. No, they don't, but they did get a decap. Chaos unable to take the middle back right now. Bloodletter's warp shifting out there. We do have some more Loyalist Terminators from Rostam. No upgrade yet. Might see the assault cannon from those guys, since they're fighting a lot of infantry. What level is this Force Commander? Level 7. Mark of Pwny CSM trying to get a cap. They might actually do this. No, it's the Sorcerer who's capping. And he goes down. Could not see the indicator for him. Bloodletter's taking it over. And they grab that decap. 2 to 1. 82 to 16. Now the Space Marine is starting to look nervous. They need to get a cap here. And they need to hold it. They need to push this east side. Look, it's completely empty. There's that Predator from SuperKoMa in its default state, with autocannon and heavy bolter side sponsons. Don't think the Terminator is going to be able to finish that cap. Certainly not with a corn nuke in your face, and they have to teleport out there. Stays red. Whole bunch of Predators in play. SuperKoMa needs to get something on the field. Just get some Plague Marines up, I think. Good capping units, and it'll help you shoot down the Predators. 58-16. SuperKoMa needs to spend his resources now. He's not going to have time to spend them. Crog also floating a lot of resources here. These players might be dealing with lag, of course. Late game on this map, you're going to see a lot of terrain scarring in the middle, which can screw up your frame rate on lower end PCs. Here's a Venerable Dreadnought from Crog, the second one. First one didn't last very long. I don't think this one will either, but it's there to distract and help those Terminators cap. Looks like it's going to do so. Maybe. No, they cannot finish their cap. Markov Pwny CSM getting stuck in there. Advanced healing though, keeping those Terminators healed up. Now the Raptors getting in. What level are these guys? Almost level 4. They've done superbly well. And look at this. Talking about superbly well. Those Markov Pwny CSM gave their life from firatwithin, I think, to get that VP over there. Double cap for Chaos, 14 to 16. Are they going to get this game? Have they ever beaten the Space Marines before? I'm not actually sure if they have. Single cap now. Can those Terminators finish this? They're so low, they have to teleport out. Something else took it over though, and they do get it. It's a single cap now for Space Marines. They have 2 VPs remaining. Land Raider Phobos on the way for Captain Pronin. I don't think it's going to have time to hit the field. SuperKoMa did get another tank out. Coming to the middle with it. I think he should have got some Plague Marines though. Desperation, and it's actually a triple cap at the end from the Space Marines that gets them the win with just 2 VPs remaining. Talk about close. Nicely done by Bashful on this east side, because if they did lose the middle, they still would have won, because Bashful went for the natural there. Awesome stuff. What an awesome 3v3. Just constant action from like the start of tier 2 onwards. Look at his heroes entered the game. Level 8 Techmarine had his Refractor Field, Signum and Melter Gun, a pretty powerful combo. Level 10 Apothecary. Kept in the back lines but did his job diligently. Customized Stormbolter, Armored Apothecarian and improved medical equipment. Level 8 Force Commander wrecking faces with his Thunderhammer, Iron Halo and Artificer. Level 6 Chaos Lord did have the Lightning Claws at the end. Also with Harness of Rage, I think, and the Dark Halo. Level 4 Plague Champion. He still had the sword. I think he was down for a while there. He might have been able to win them a game if he was on his feet with his fist. Sorcerer did really well. Level 7. Not sure what war gear he had, but he's down in the center here. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.